Hello, this is Kai from NIGHTWISH.
And here's Marko.
From NIGHTWISH?
Yeah.
Apparently.
Apparently, yeah.
Pretty good actually. So
I was hoping you'd be okay.
yeah,
I'm too.
still got the booze.
Some of them seemed a little bit blown away that this thing is real. It's all white, all trees and everything covered, and then some of them even went as far as to go from the wood sauna and jump in the hole in the lake, which I didn't, but you did.
I did. Icy water rules.
So, well, you got in the cover about that nature and human thing, the symbols that are so basically the oldest writings on earth. So that I guess could be called one of the thresholds where we weren't part of the old nature anymore. Imagination, intellect, able to plan for your future, then write it down. Those are very human traits.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, actually we had a inside person that arranged this whole thing because you can't just call there and say that, okay, can we take a promo pictures in the museum? So we were lucky that we got to know this one person that was in the inside of things, and she could arrange us the possibility to rent that for 4 hours after the closing hours.
yeah,
So
and of course these came to be because, well, already with endless forms most possible. we already got we had Dawkins, and we were already getting involved with scientific circles, so therefore the contacts which allowed us to get in there. And of course in its way it's a brilliant thing to do. Some of the views were just brilliant.
Yeah, it's really suits the album theme and the pictures there. There was a big role for that, so it was perfect to do it there.
Pure luck. I was writing my songs, Thomas was writing his, and suddenly we went really far on my album with Anssi, with doing percussions and all kind of, shakers and blings and whatever there. And actually the guys had a plan with Kai too also to do that on this Nightwish album, which they did. So, but it's just pure luck, pure chance.
Yeah, so of course it's the second album with the band, but the first album was made a little bit from the different perspective. Yeah. So this time I got to maybe think about a little bit from my personal archives of different things I've been learning over the years, and playing different stuff. So I got the chance to put it in there hopefully in a reasonable way that it still sounds like Nightwish, but it's still a bit from my own personal touch in there.
Yeah,
in the songs.
Match your personality to the band also by the playing.
Yeah.
When you were following more like Jukka's guidelines last time.
Yes, that's true. I never think about what I have done before. I just take everything as a fresh start. So I just use my kind of background, but I don't think about it that okay, now I have to put this in there because I've done that in the past. Like, of course, when I play with Swallow the Sun, like this doom metal band for almost 5 years, I got a chance to use those skills in the last song, which is the bit more heavier part of the album.
Yeah,
so it really helps.
It's more doomy.
Yeah. So it really helps all those things in the past. But I never think about it like, okay, now I should do this because I can do this.
Yeah.
That's maybe the wrong way of thinking. So music comes first, and then you just try to play in a way that it suits the music and fits the style of the band. No, we had 4 weeks.
Thomas wrote songs. We got the demos. We got together and started arranging and doing vocal harmonies and whatever. And this is the stuff that Thomas and then after that we as a collective came up with. I was very pleased about Pan. We get to do some really heavy 3-based stuff.
Yeah, yeah. It's of course when you listen to it for the first time, especially with the demo, you don't really get so much like opinion about it, because you have to listen to it over and over again to be able to kind of form some kind of opinion about what you should do yourself in there. So it took a while, but so it's always when you hear new music, unless it's like 3-chord pop, it's quite easy to digest. But that's not so like all those arrangements.
Thomas doesn't seem to be following too much of the rules of mainstream in his writing, and I love that.
Yeah, I like it too. It's quite a progressive.
I've been too. We've been too long in the business for almost nothing to surprise us. So it's nice that you don't mix the same salt and pepper with it every time.
Yeah.
I think you're onto something there, because in a way a lot of the songs are thought more as continuums, and that's of course the approach of the classical thing. We're not yet going totally theme it variations type of thing, but you're right about that, I think. Yeah. A bunch of sad idealists. Yeah. No, but I mean, there's some people in the band who are very aware and follow up on the world and all that, and I don't really give that much crap about right-wingers or left-wingers or whatever, because it's all such a obvious way. The other is the evangelics and the business side who want to keep things as conservative as possible, and then there are the bleeding heart side, which I have to say that I relate more to that side, which it would be more into putting things together and then taking things and taking care of them together. I'm more of that. But there is one very simple thing which we should all, whether right or left, it's no use building this kind of a consumerism if we're gonna drown in crap and end up eating each other because there's too many humans on the planet. So don't crap on your backyard. And very extensive death control should be matched with very extensive birth control. Music in its first place is meant to be enjoyed. It's a thing to give you a breather. The outside reality is real. So take a trip, listen to an album, watch a movie, go to theater, whatever. It'll be good for your head, anybody's head. And that's the main reason why we do music. We're goddamn entertainers. But of course, also, since Tuomas writes and the verbal side is important to him, I mean, it's important to me. I can't relate to the songs lyrics which have no meaning whatsoever, or are full of old cliches about how you broke my heart. Bullshit. Yeah, so it's good good to put there, and if he has convictions, they seem to be matching mine. I can sing his things very well. So if somebody finds like inspiration to be a little bit more aware, go ahead, be my guest. But if you want to enjoy some rock, enjoy.
Yeah, but we don't try to, praise things like that. We
preach.
No preaching. No preaching.
I mean, preachers are boring.
Yeah.
Makes me pretty happy that I only had to sing lead for one song, where we only jump all over the octave and a little bit further during the melody of the verse. So yeah, melodies were challenging, and for floor there was a lot of stuff that went totally out of scales, and that's something that vocalists need to rehearse really a lot in order to not just naturally drop into some scale. So she had her work cut out with this one. Yeah, and we have a lot of vocal melodies were complex and hard in that way. But then we also started to do these harmonies when we were doing Decades tour. And that was when we kind of wanted to build something new into the old songs, and realized that one of the most obvious and very easily hearable way would be if we build up like our own harmonies with the people that we have. And we enjoyed it a lot. So therefore, with this album, we also had quite a few sessions where we were thinking, well, what if that goes there and the blah blah blah, and I was sitting outside. How does this a cappella thing go at the end of How's the Heart and
How's the Heart Burn?
How's the Heart Burn? I got some pills.
How's the Hangover?
To me, actually, and this is gonna sound maybe a bit strange, but in a way, it somehow reminded me as well of Simon and Garfunkel.
You are right about few things where it does sound like that, because, well, there are a couple of guys singing, me and Troy there, and even though Flo has the lead, it has that kind of a, how would I say,
but that's a
tinge
compliment.
to it.
If you say it sounds like Simon and Garfunkel, it's a compliment for us.
I love the old stuff, what the guys did with, well, Scarborough Fair and all this with two voice harmonies. It's brilliant stuff.
Actually, that's like probably the right song to compare it with as well, because it has that folky feel to it as well, that you guys have.
There might be a few songs that we are not gonna do probably live from that album, but there's actually 7 tracks we can do as a live version. So,
and then again, it's always a thing when you get the new album out. You pick out a few of them songs, 6, 7. Then you start to, then you fill in the nice little oldies, preferably with a few weirder surprises also. But that's what I guess we're gonna be trying to do.
Drink beer.
Listen to rock.
Great, thank you.
Really wise stuff.
That sounded a little bit cliche.